Hello, dear listener, and welcome. Settle in, find your most comfortable space, and let your breath slow down, gently, naturally. Tonight, we journey back in time, not with hurried steps, but with a serene, contemplative gaze, to explore the very foundations of human civilization. We'll drift through the concept of the four great ancient civilizations, a fascinating framework that helps us understand where so much of our shared human story truly began. Imagine, if you will, the world as it once was thousands of years ago. A planet still untamed in many ways, yet stirring with the first whispers of organized human ingenuity. In the calm waters of Japanese and Chinese historiography, a beautiful idea blossomed: the identification of four specific geographical areas as the true cradles of civilization. These revered lands were ancient Egypt, the fertile plains of Mesopotamia, the mystical realms of ancient India, and the enduring heartland of ancient China. Each, in its own unique way, cradled the nascent stirrings of what we now call civilization, giving birth to concepts and structures that continue to echo through our modern lives. It's interesting, isn't it, how certain historical perspectives can be more prevalent in one part of the world than another? While this concept of the four great ancient civilizations is deeply ingrained, for instance, in history textbooks across Japan and China, a familiar touchstone for generations of students, it's not as widely recognized in the Western world. This makes our shared exploration tonight all the more special, as we delve into a rich vein of historical thought that might offer new perspectives, a gentle expansion of your understanding of humanity's deep past. Let's allow our minds to wander a little, to ponder the very origins of this compelling idea. When did humans first begin to categorize and compare these foundational societies? The exact genesis of the phrase, "four great ancient civilizations," is shrouded in a little bit of historical mist, much like the dawn of those civilizations themselves. One theory suggests its birth with a distinguished Japanese archaeologist named Namio Egami. His colleague, Masaki Sugiyama, recalled Egami often claiming to have coined this very phrase. Picture Egami, perhaps late at night, in a quiet study filled with ancient artifacts and maps, piecing together the grand tapestry of human history, and with a moment of serene clarity, articulating this unifying concept. The first tangible appearance of the phrase, however, is often traced to a textbook, a Revised World History, published in Japan in 1952 by the Yamakawa Publishing Company, a place where Egami himself worked. It's comforting to think of an idea taking shape, first in the mind of a scholar, then solidifying into the pages of a book, slowly disseminating, shaping how countless individuals come to perceive their ancient heritage. Yet, like the winding rivers that nourished these early societies, intellectual currents often flow from multiple sources. Another profound theory attributes the term's origin to a towering figure of Chinese intellectualism, Liang Qichao. He lived during the late Qing dynasty, a time of immense change and introspection for China, and indeed, for the world. In the year 1900, as the 20th century was just dawning, Liang Qichao penned a magnificent poem, imbued with vision and foresight, titled Song of the Pacific in the 20th Century. Within its verses, he wrote, with a quiet profundity, "There are four motherlands of ancient civilizations on Earth: China, India, Egypt, and Asia Minor. Here, we see a slight variation, Asia Minor in place of Mesopotamia, but the essence remains, the recognition of a quadrilateral foundation for human advancement." Liang Qichao's perspective wasn't born in isolation. It was influenced, in part, by the intellectual luminaries of Japan, thinkers like Fukuzawa Yukichi, Yukita Zotami, and Kayahara Kazan. These Japanese scholars, in turn, had been deeply influenced by Western philosophical currents, particularly the burgeoning Western concept of a cradle of civilization. It's a beautiful illustration of how ideas, like seeds carried by the wind, travel across cultures, taking root, adapting, and blossoming anew in different soils. There's a quiet wisdom in recognizing this interconnectedness, this gentle flow of thought across geographical and temporal boundaries, a reminder that human understanding is a shared, ever-evolving landscape. Liang Qichao, in his contemplative wisdom, further divided the grand narrative of world history into three distinct ages: the River Age, the Sea Age, and the Ocean Age. What a poetic and deeply insightful way to frame humanity's journey! And it is within this River Age that our four great ancient civilizations truly find their genesis. Imagine the gentle, persistent murmur of a river, a constant, life-giving artery. It is no mere coincidence, no accident of fate, that all these foundational civilizations, without exception, unfurled their vibrant tapestries along the banks of mighty rivers. Think about it, dear listener. From a purely scientific and geographical standpoint, the reasons are as clear and as vital as the water itself. Fixed water sources, rivers, provided an indispensable foundation. They offered not only a consistent supply of drinking water for early human settlements, but, perhaps even more crucially, they enabled the revolutionary practice of agriculture. The rich, alluvial soils deposited by recurring floods created fertile ground for crops to flourish, transforming nomadic hunter-gatherer societies into settled communities. This stability, this predictable bounty, allowed for surplus food production, which in turn freed a portion of the population from the direct labor of food gathering. This liberation paved the way for specialization, for artisans, for thinkers, for priests, for builders. It's a profound cascade of cause and effect, isn't it? From a simple reliance on water, complex societies began to emerge. Beyond agriculture, these rivers served as the very first highways, arteries of commerce and communication. Goods could be transported, ideas exchanged, and people connected in ways that were previously impossible. The river became a silent, ever-flowing witness to the rise of markets, the negotiation of treaties, and the spread of cultural influences. Human beings, in their very essence, are inextricably linked to water. We are, physically and metaphorically, children of the rivers. However, historical understanding is rarely monolithic, and even within the gentle flow of this established theory, there are intriguing eddies and countercurrents. Some historians, for instance, offer a slightly different perspective on the genesis of Chinese civilization. While it ultimately flourished along its great rivers, some scholars propose that its earliest stirrings, its initial sparks of societal organization, may have first occurred in the more rugged, protective embrace of the mountains, before gradually expanding and descending into the expansive, fertile riverine areas. This serves as a gentle reminder that history is a dynamic dialogue, an ongoing conversation, rather than a fixed pronouncement, inviting us to always consider multiple perspectives, even as we appreciate the grand narratives. It is also important, in our quiet contemplation, to acknowledge that this, for civilizations, model, while elegant and useful, isn't universally adopted without comment. Some Chinese historians, for instance, have voiced a gentle critique, noting that the precise dating of China's civilization, when meticulously examined, might not perfectly align it with the absolute earliest of the four. Such scholarly discussions, far from undermining the concept, only enrich it, adding layers of nuance and inviting deeper, more precise investigation into the unfolding timeline of human achievement. Now let's allow our minds to gently encompass a broader overview of these magnificent ancient societies. Cast your gaze, if you will, across the vast canvas of the Northern Hemisphere, spanning a breathtaking period between 700 and 500 years ago. Imagine the subtle shifting of continents, the ancient winds carrying the scent of nascent humanity. It was during this profound era that, one after another, like stars slowly appearing in the twilight sky, the great river basins began to glow with the light of civilization. The Tigris and Euphrates rivers cradled Mesopotamia, the majestic Nile nourished Egypt, the enigmatic Indus and, later, the sacred Ganges, cradled ancient India, and the Yellow River, along with the mighty Yangtze, cradled the heart of China. Each basin, a unique cradle, yet all sharing the common thread of water, earth, and human spirit. These four civilizations didn't emerge fully formed, like Athena from the head of Zeus. They followed a remarkable, yet profoundly logical, trajectory of technological and societal evolution. From the quiet simplicity of the Neolithic age, characterized by stone tools and early agriculture, they gently, yet inevitably, transitioned into the shimmering brilliance of the Bronze Age. This era marked a colossal leap in human ingenuity, the mastery of metallurgy, the creation of stronger tools, weapons, and even art. And from bronze, with an ongoing drive for innovation, they then flowed into the Iron Age, a period that further revolutionized technology, agriculture, and warfare, shaping societies in ways that echoed for millennia. It's truly astonishing, when you pause to consider it, just how much of what we hold dear, what we consider fundamental to human existence today, can be traced back to the profound contributions of these ancient civilizations. Think of the deep currents of philosophy that continue to shape our ethical frameworks and our understanding of existence. Consider the foundational scientific principles that underpin our modern technologies. Reflect on the timeless narratives of literature, the exquisite forms of art, the elegant structures of architecture. So much of this vast reservoir of human knowledge, this shared inheritance, finds its delicate, yet powerful, roots in the soil of these ancient cradles. They were, in essence, the original wellsprings of human creativity and intellectual inquiry. Let's delve a little deeper into the unique societal structures that blossomed in these ancient lands. It's fascinating to observe the diverse ways in which early humans organized themselves, the different systems they devised to manage communal life, power, and hierarchy. In the sun-drenched lands of Egypt and the Fertile Crescent of Babylon, one of the primary social systems was that of slavery. Imagine the vast pyramids rising under the tireless efforts of countless individuals, a testament to monumental ambition and hierarchical control. In ancient India, a profoundly intricate and enduring structure emerged, the caste system. This complex social stratification, rooted in spiritual and occupational divisions, shaped lives and communities for thousands of years, offering a unique societal blueprint unlike any other. And in China, before the tumultuous spring and autumn period and the warring states period, the prevailing systems were the feudal system and the well-field system. These organized society through a hierarchy of land ownership and shared agricultural labor, reflecting a distinct Chinese approach to governance and collective living. Each system, a careful, or sometimes forceful, arrangement of human potential, reflecting the specific cultural and philosophical underpinnings of its civilization. And beyond the practicalities of social order, there was the profound human need to understand the universe, to find meaning in the unexplainable, to connect with the divine. Each of these civilizations wove its own rich tapestry of myths and legends, stories that explained creation, heroic deeds, and the very nature of existence. These narratives were not mere entertainment. They were the bedrock of belief, the spiritual frameworks that gave shape and solace to human lives. It's particularly compelling how these ancient state entities, as they coalesced and gained power, skillfully harnessed these religious myths to strengthen the very concept of monarchy. The divine and the earthly became intricately intertwined, lending an unparalleled authority to the rulers. Consider the powerful kings of Babylon, such as Hammurabi, who asserted his legitimacy by claiming to be a direct descendant of the revered moon god, Sin. Imagine the awe this declaration would have inspired in his subjects. In ancient Egypt, the pharaohs were not merely rulers. They were seen as the living embodiment, the very sun, of the mighty sun god Ra himself. What immense power, what spiritual weight, this belief conferred upon them. And in China, the monarch held the sacred title of the Son of Heaven, entrusted with the mandate to rule by celestial decree. This connection to the divine elevated their authority beyond mere human power, making their rule seem predestined, unchallengeable, a reflection of cosmic order itself. This intertwining of religion and power is a recurring theme throughout human history, a testament to our enduring search for meaning and order, and our willingness to imbue our leaders with sacred authority. As we gently drift further into the intricate details of these civilizations, let's marvel at their intellectual and practical achievements. Think of the vastness of time, the rhythms of the heavens. It is truly remarkable that all four great ancient civilizations independently developed their own calendar systems, each a testament to meticulous observation of celestial cycles. And despite their geographical separation, they arrived at remarkably similar structures. Each year was typically divided into 12 months, and each civilization found ingenious ways to incorporate leap months to account for the true length of the solar year, ensuring their calendars remained aligned with the seasons. This shared understanding of cosmic time speaks volumes about the early human capacity for scientific observation and mathematical precision, a quiet harmony across continents. And what of the very fabric of knowledge, the means by which thoughts and ideas could be recorded and transmitted across generations? Each civilization, with unique brilliance, created its own distinct writing system. Imagine the painstaking development of hieroglyphs in Egypt, cuneiform in Mesopotamia, the intricate symbols of the Indus Valley script, and the enduring characters of Chinese writing. These inventions were not merely tools, they were revolutionary acts, unlocking new dimensions of human thought, allowing for complex administration, the codification of laws, the recording of history, and the expression of profound spiritual and philosophical insights. The silent power of the written word, born in these ancient lands, continues to shape our world today. Let's also touch upon the more tangible aspects of daily life and craftsmanship. Consider the simple yet transformative invention of the pottery wheel. It's fascinating to note that civilizations in the Indus, Yellow, and Mesopotamia river basins all utilized this ingenious device to craft their pottery. Imagine the skilled hands spinning the clay, coaxing it into elegant forms, bowls for food, vessels for water, storage jars for precious grains. This shared technology, born of practical necessity and artistic flair, highlights a common thread of human innovation in diverse settings. And finally, let's allow ourselves to be captivated by some of their remarkable scientific and mathematical discoveries, often developed with astonishing independence. In the ancient lands of Egypt and Mesopotamia, brilliant minds were grappling with the fundamental properties of circles, making early calculi. Tie-ins of the value of pi, a constant that underpins so much of our geometry and engineering today. Meanwhile, far across the continent, in the fertile lands of China, scholars and builders were discovering, or at least applying in practice, the principles of what we now know as the Pythagorean theorem, long before Pythagoras himself. Imagine ancient Chinese architects and engineers, with their insightful understanding of right angles and hypotenusas, creating structures of remarkable stability and beauty. And from India, a gift to the entire world, came the invention of Indian numerals, which, through their transmission via the Arab world, became what we universally recognize today as Arabic numerals, the very digits we use for all our counting, calculations, and modern technology. From 0 to 9, this quiet revolution in numerical representation fundamentally transformed mathematics and, consequently, our ability to comprehend and interact with the world around us. These are not just dry facts, dear listener. They are whispers from the past, echoing the incredible ingenuity, the deep curiosity, and the persistent drive of early human beings. To lie here, now, in the quiet of this moment, and to reflect upon these origins, is to connect with something vast and timeless. It's to feel the gentle current of history flowing through you, a part of a story that began long before us, and will continue long after. Allow these thoughts to settle gently within your mind. The image of the rivers, flowing ceaselessly, carrying life and the seeds of civilization. The quiet dedication of scholars and artisans. The grand dreams of rulers and the enduring beliefs of their people. All of it, a rich, vibrant tapestry, woven in the ancient past, now softly illuminated for you in the peaceful present. Let the wonder of these ancient achievements guide you into a state of deep relaxation. The world has always been a place of incredible innovation and profound beauty, and tonight, you have connected with its very beginnings. Rest now, peacefully, as these ancient currents carry you into slumber.